Hi and welcome back to my devlog series. Today is Monday and we are going to start on a completely new map today, and the first thing I want to do is make the actual background. I quickly threw together a little background in Photoshop and made a parallax script in Unity to go with it, and you can see the result here. It looks pretty decent. I'm probably going to revisit this later, but for now I'm pretty happy with how it looks, and I want to start working on the actual foreground of the map. I've made some ground in Photoshop, not completely happy with how it looks, but I think it'll do for now. But we also need some trees, and I've used Photoshop's renderer to generate a couple of different trees, and I'll try and see how that looks with the rest of the art style. So I've put everything together now, and I think it looks alright. I actually really like how the trees look, but I'm not quite happy with the background. But I'll keep working on this tomorrow because it's getting quite late and I'm gonna go hit the sack and hopefully get up a bit early tomorrow. It's Tuesday and it's time to work on the camera, because previously the camera was made for the train map and it only needed to move forward at a constant speed, which is not the case anymore because now it needs to follow all the players at once. And I think the best solution for this is to calculate the middle point of all the players and find the greatest distance. Then we use this greatest distance to find a good zoom to fit all the players in the camera. And if someone tries to run off the camera at max zoom, then we'll just have to push them back into the map. So I need to make a script that does all of this. Okay, so that might have not been completely accurate, but I'm done with the script now and everything seems to work fine. I've basically spent the day making this script and also making some other small changes in scripts to make sure that players stay inside of the camera bounds. So if you try and run off, you'll actually be pushed back into the screen and the camera will always center between all of the players and zoom to fit everyone in the frame. So it all seems to work fine, but that's really going to be it for today. I'm pretty tired, I had some school things to work with today, so I'll be back tomorrow and hopefully get some more work done then. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and I started off the day by making some bushes. Just so I could get a little bit more detail on the map and make things look a bit more natural. So I made some bushes, you can see them in-game here, they look alright. I'm planning on putting some bushes in the foreground so players can kind of hide behind them, and then some bushes just in the background. And I think they look alright. After that, I started now working on a ground, and it's a different kind of ground. It's going to be like a trap, so if you walk over it, you fall into it and you die from the spikes. And here you can see the trap in action. And so essentially what I did was, when someone walks over the grass or the leaves, then I just remove that whole leaf game object and then I spawn in some particle effects. And you can see these particle effects here. There's some small leaves flying up into the ground and then there's a big chunk of leaves just falling down to make it look a bit smooth and natural, and I feel like it worked out pretty well. I really like using Unity's particle system because it's so easy and intuitive, and you can get some really cool results using them. So if you haven't tried it out yourself, I can highly recommend you do so because it's a lot of fun and you can get some great results. But that's really going to be it for today, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more work. It's Thursday and today I want to make a sword. So I started off by just putting it together in Illustrator and then putting it into the game. So you can now pick it up and swing it around, but you can't really attack with it. So I quickly fixed it so you can now use the same fire button, I guess. So instead of shooting your gun, you're now swinging your sword. And it looks alright, but it felt a bit empty, I guess, so I added a little trail effect to go behind the sword, so when you swing it you get like a like a swing-in effect, so you can kind of see where the sword went and how you swung it, which is pretty cool. It still feels a bit weak and it doesn't really have a whole lot of impact, and I tried to solve this and ran into some issues, so to speak, but eventually it worked out. And how I solved it was I used effectors, and so I enable an effector that will kind of push anyone who's really close to it away, and it will kind of look like the sword has more impact than it actually has. So once you hit people, they'll be pushed back. So it's way more hard hitting, and it just looks much better now. So I'm pretty happy with this solution, and tomorrow I want to keep working on weapons and possibly enemies too if I have time for that. So that's the plan for tomorrow. It's Friday and I want to work on implementing some more weapons in the game. So I started off by just making a dagger in Illustrator and then putting it into the game. And it works fine, but I did find a little bit of an issue with the dagger. But I'll look into fixing that later on. It's pretty funny for now. The third weapon I'm adding to the game is a sledgehammer, and boy is this thing fun to use. It's actually so much fun just slamming people with this weapon. Might be a bit overpowered, but for now I just have too much fun with it, so I can't really nerf it. But I just wanted like a kind of a slow weapon that hits really hard, and I think this sledgehammer serves that job really well. And I might add like a two-handed sword later on, but for now I'm happy with the weapons. So putting the weapons aside for now, I want to start working a bit more on the ground, because it's a bit boring now. It's just normal ground and then there's the traps, but I want something different. So I'm making like a big hole with spikes in the bottom, and then like a bridge that's basically just a rope that you have to cross, and if you fall down then obviously you die. But usually you aren't going to fall down, but what you can do is you can slice the ends of the ropes, and if you do so, then the whole thing is going to collapse and you fall down into the spikes. The reason I implemented this mechanic is because it's a lot of fun screwing over your friends, and so essentially you can just run across the rope and then cut the rope, and then your friends are screwed. So I think that will be a lot of fun. Also, if enemies are approaching, you can get over to the rope and then cut it and they will fall down and die. But that's going to be it for today. I want to go to bed early and then get up early tomorrow and hopefully get a lot of work done, because I have a couple of ideas that I want to put to life. So I'll see you tomorrow. It's a snowy Saturday morning and I'm ready to get working. So the first thing I want to do today is design some enemy. But before I can make the enemy, I have to make some sort of headwear or something they can have on, so you can kind of tell it's an enemy. So I started off by making like a hoodie thing in Illustrator. It looks kind of dumb because you're supposed to have like a cape going with the hoodie, so it's kind of weird if it's only a hoodie, but I haven't really looked into how to make like a cloth physics in Unity, so I'm just gonna do that later, and for now it's just gonna be a hoodie. And here you can see it in game. It looks alright, but it's a bit weird without the actual cape. So with that out of the way, I'm now going to start working on the actual enemy. But before I do that, I have to do some groundwork and make some parent enemy classes and some other things, just to make things easier for me in the long run. So it'll take some time, but I'll be back with hopefully a working enemy, I hope. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the first enemy now. Basically, he can attack you, and if you knock him out and he loses his weapon, then he will run away until he finds another weapon to pick up, and then he will start fighting again. So it works fine. There's nothing really special to say about it. It works as it's supposed to do, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Here's just a little example of how you can use the bridge to kill your enemies, which is pretty cool, and apparently they threw a knife at me, which they're not even supposed to do. But yeah, that's really going to be it for today, and I'm gonna get some sleep now and hopefully get some more work done on at least the devlog tomorrow. It's finally Sunday, and I'm probably just going to spend the whole day editing and putting together this week's devlog episode, so probably won't do anything or much at all on the game. So yeah, but I'm pretty happy with this week's progress. I feel like we got a lot of stuff done, which I'm pretty happy with. And also on other news, I want to thank you guys a lot for 100 subscribers. That's a pretty cool milestone. That's a lot of people. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, let's keep on going. For the next 2 weeks or so, probably even longer, I'm just mainly going to focus on rewriting the entire movement because it's literally 1,000 lines of terrible code. So I pretty much need to redo so many things, and there's a lot of things about the project that I don't like, but you'll see all of that in the next episode of this devlog series. So that's really going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will hopefully catch you guys in not too long.